All right, it's conference championship week, and we're going through all 9 games, picking them against the spread. Let's go ahead and do it. All right, I'm your host, Gary Seegers, at GaryWCE on all the different socials. You can follow me. I'm most active on X. Let's be real. Let me tell you, I host the BetUS College Football Show. It's every Tuesday and Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and we have already gone over all of these games on there. So, if you would so kindly go ahead and subscribe to that. There's a link in the description for that. We'll go over some other stuff after that. But let's go ahead and get into the actual games. And we'll start off here. Jacksonville State, they host Western Kentucky. And this one is the CUSA title game. So, yes, everything is good in Coosa Town. All right. Jacksonville State is currently favored by 4.5 at FD, and so we'll use that. There's some 5s on the board, some 5.5s on the board. So let's take a look. It opened at 3.5, by the way, and you can see on here I have actually got Jacksonville State favored by 4 and almost 4.5 here. So, my last 4 weeks numbers have got Jacksonville State favored by 5, so they are playing a little bit better. Tyler Huff, the quarterback, went out with an injury in the last game. Looks like he's going to play. Everything appears to be good on that. I do worry about it. Jacksonville State, these year-long numbers look really, really good. But if you look at how they played against teams that have pretty decent defenses and whatnot, that we did just see this game. It was 19-17 Western Kentucky. That's how the Hilltoppers got into the game. Western Kentucky, number 65, ESPN Strength of Schedule. Yeah, Jacksonville State, number 78. You start diving into some of the other numbers. Our biggest mismatch here is going to be the Jacksonville State rushing offense going up against the Western Kentucky rushing defense. But it didn't make a huge difference last week. And really, Tyler Huff and his injury, that's going to make a huge difference in this game one way or the other. So, both teams pretty explosive. Number 15 for Jacksonville State in net explosiveness at Western Kentucky, number 24. Western Kentucky not able to really run the ball, but that's okay. That's it's not really what they do. They only run the ball 46% of the time. They throw it a lot. They are number 21 in PPA per pass, number 27 in yards per attempt. Western Kentucky is number 90 in yards allowed per attempt, number 79 in QBR allowed, and Western Kentucky is number 25. So Western Kentucky should be able to throw the ball on Jacksonville State's defense. Jacksonville State should be able to run the ball on Western Kentucky's defense. Because Jacksonville State number 11 in yards per rush, Western Kentucky number 103 in yards allowed per rush. And yet, even with both of these offenses having significant advantages, both of them, the last 2 games that they've played, it's been 20-17 Jack State last year. This year, just last week, it was 19-17. I think this is going to be a tight ball game. Like, I know everybody is kind of on Jacksonville State. I'm going the opposite direction. I will take Western Kentucky and give me 5.5 at BetMGM. I like WKU with the points here because I think this thing's going to be tight just like the other ones have been. Next game up, the AAC championship game, and we have got Army hosting Tulane. Tulane right now favored by 5.5 on this one, and this is an interesting spot because this thing opened at 4.5. It jumped all the way up to 6. Now there's been some buyback on Army. Army strength of record number 22. They got absolutely demolished by the best team that they played. Yeah, it is what it is. Tulane got smashed the last time they were out by Memphis. But there were some plays here and there that could have really flipped that game around. Tulane's defense, now obviously context is needed, but John Sumrall has faced the triple option in the last 3 years. So he's already faced Navy this year. He faced Army the 2 years before that. And those teams combined to score 9 total points. So 3 points on average per game by these triple option offenses. I kind of think that we're going to see the same thing here. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting when you start diving into the numbers. The Tulane offense is better than this Army defense. Army, number 86 in PPA allowed per rush. That's predicted points added per rush. Tulane, number 47 Tulane number 31 in yards, but Mekhi Hughes should be able to run on this defense. Rushing success rate, Tulane number 53. Army's defense, rushing success allowed, number 94. Yeah, they should be able to make some noise. As far as Darian Mensah, the Tulane quarterback throwing the ball, number 8 in passing success, number 51 in passing explosiveness. Army's defense is number 98 in both of those. Now, Army is number 3 in PPA per rush. They are number 3 in rushing success rate. Well, Tulane's defense is number 7 in rushing success allowed, number 20 in PPA allowed per rush. I think that the matchup, I know it's going to be cold. I get that. It's going to be like 25 degrees and a lot of wind and all that. So I don't know if Tulane's going to be too worried about throwing the ball, but they should be able to run the ball, and I don't think Army's going to be able to score. So obviously we will see. But this is... I've got Tulane by 1.28. I don't trust the numbers. I think the matchup dictates this. I will take Tulane minus the 4.5 that's currently out there right now. There's several different books. DK, BetMGM. Yeah. So Tulane minus 4.5 on that one. All right, let's move along. Boise State hosting UNLV in the Mountain West Championship game. Boise opened up as a 3.5-point favorite. Currently, they are a 3.5-point favorite. This thing kind of moved around a little bit, went up to 4, went up to 4.5 at a couple of spots. Now it's gotten back down a little bit. There's been some buyback. People like UNLV. UNLV's defense, this is very interesting. They haven't had to face the rush very much, right? So my number on this, by the way, is Boise State by 8.79. Based on the last 4 weeks, it's Boise minus 8.9. So obviously that last 4 weeks number, you're only looking at 3 to 4 games. It's a very small sample size. So there's going to be some high variance when they line up like this. It's kind of wild. So UNLV. Defense has been pretty good. Number 33 PPA allowed per drive on defense. Boise's defense is number 66. And that's actually rather improved over the past few weeks. Boise's offense, absolutely rolling, number 6 in PPA per rush, number 18 in rushing success rate. Well, UNLV's defense is number 18 in rushing success allowed, but they are not very good at defending explosive runs. They are number 102 in rushing explosiveness allowed. Boise is number 5 in that. And that's why you see number 18 in rushing success allowed for UNLV. But they are number 56 in predicted points added allowed per rush, and that's because when they give up those big explosive runs, they're giving up a lot of PPA on that, predicted points added. Offensive line yards, UNLV number 17 in offensive line yards allowed. That's how much push does your offensive line get. So Genty in this game, there's a reason why Genty didn't have like crazy stats in the last game, but. It is what it is. Boise did already beat them, by the way. They beat them 29-24, I believe it was, in Las Vegas. Now they get them at home, and the spread is actually less than what it was last time. So, a little strange. Boise's defense, not great. They're pretty good against the run now. They weren't before, but Haj Malik Williams and Ricky White should have some success here. They're number 66 in passing success rate. Well, Boise's number 49. The issue for Boise is UNLV is number 20 in yards per attempt. Boise's defense is number 100. They're number 104 in QBR allowed. UNLV's passing offense, they are number 15 in QBR. So these are two pretty tight teams. But man, last year in the Mountain West Championship game, it was 44-20 in Las Vegas. This year, Boise won 29-24 in Las Vegas. Now they got them at home. What is UNLV going to look like on the road? If I've got to go a certain way, I'll take UNLV, or I'll take Boise to cover at home. No, I don't feel like great about it by any stretch of the imagination, and I wish it was a 3 or even a 2.5, but we didn't get that. We did not get that. Let me tell you right quick about Go Sleeves. They are the best kinesiology technology on the market. The breast. It's kind of like me talking about Kyle Hunter pricks yesterday. Yes, the best kinesiology technology out there. The best compression sleeves. And they're fantastic. I'm telling you, do yourself a favor. Go research this stuff. GoSleeves.com/WCE. It'll get you 15% off your order over there. They've got gels, they got compression socks, they got shirts, they got all kind of stuff. So go ahead and check it out. GoSleeves.com/WCE. Along with that, if you want to support the show, you like these stat sheets, all that kind of stuff, I'm doing them all for the bowl games, etc. BettingCFB.com. We're going to have bonus content over there, etc. I give out picks over there. I give out all kind of stuff. So if you want to stay up to date with that, $5 a month, $50 for the year, and it runs all year long. I will be posting stuff over there constantly. So bettingcfb.com for that. All right, we continue on to game number 4 out of 9 this week. The Miami, Ohio Redhawks are playing the Ohio Bobcats for the MAC championship on Saturday morning. Currently, Miami of Ohio only a 1.5-point favorite. Interesting. Total of 44.5, so not a lot of points expected in this one. You got two fairly decent defenses, or better than fairly decent. They're pretty good defenses. Miami already beat Ohio once this year, 30-20. It was at home. This one's at Ford Field in Detroit. But this one is an interesting spot because you look at the numbers, power rating wise, I've got Miami by a little over a point, like 1.2 points on a neutral, just based on power rating. However, Ohio's current strength of schedule, not nearly as good as Miami, Ohio's. Special teams efficiency, Miami, Ohio has the advantage there. Turnover margin, Miami has the advantage there. Penalties per game, it's very close. Penalty yards per game is very close, but Miami of Ohio has an edge in that as well. And this Miami of Ohio defense is absolutely legit. They are awesome in field position. They're number 2 in the country in defensive field position, number 1 in offensive field position, and Ohio is number 86 and 87 in those spots. So it's something to pay attention to for sure. We saw this. Like, we already saw this. We can sit here and go over these numbers, but I understand that people want Ohio to win. I get that. Tim Albin is fantastic. What he's built there is really, really cool. This game was 30-6 heading into the fourth quarter. Miami, Ohio just demolished these guys. Parker Navarro, the quarterback for Ohio, got benched in that game. I think this is a matchup nightmare for Ohio. So while it would be fun to have Ohio win this, it would be their first MAC championship since 1968. Remember, Frank Solich never won one. I don't think we're going to get that. I think Miami, Ohio has proven that they are the better overall team. I think they're going to handle business. So the best number you can get on them right now is 1.5 on the market. There's some 2s out there if you like Ohio. But it's going to be a tight ball game. Tight ball game. We carry on to the Big 12 championship, where we've got Arizona State and Iowa State down in Jerry World for this one, of course. And the number right now has Arizona State favored by 2.5, total of 49.5 on this. Interesting spot. Arizona State, I've got favored by 0.78 points. Spread based on the last 4 weeks, I've got Iowa State favored by 10 points, which is wild considering Arizona State is the team that's covered like 5 games in a row, right? It's an interesting spot because Arizona State lost their leading wide receiver for the year. It was just announced. We knew he was going to be out on Saturday, but they just announced he's out for the rest of the season. So obviously that's going to hurt things for sure. Jordan Tyson is the kid's name. He has like 1,100 yards receiving. He's got 10 touchdown receptions. All of the other wide receivers on the roster have 400 yards and 4 touchdowns combined. That's not good. He's the guy that takes the top off the defense. He's the guy that opens up the running lanes for Scatterboo. Arizona State's got some depth. They don't have a ton of depth. Iowa State, I think. So on the BetUS show, I took Arizona State first half on this, and it's Arizona State by 5, like half a point, 0.5 points. When I look at this, I think Arizona State will look better early. In the second half, they seem to get found out fairly easily once people can adjust to him. And John Heacock, the defensive coordinator for Iowa State, is like a master at adjusting after halftime. His second half defensive performances are awesome. And there's a reason why Iowa State is number 9 in the country in second half point margin. So, with that said, I think Iowa State's going to find a way to get this thing done. I think Arizona State lost a critical piece of their offense. He had a more than 40-yard reception, Tyson did, in the last 3 games that they really needed. And they were pretty close games. Some of them were close games. He is what makes that offense, or he's one of the few pieces that makes that offense click. And so I feel like I'm going to go with what I know. I like Heacock. Iowa State kind of derailed a little bit middle of the season, and now they have figured it out. So I know that you look at this, number 15 in PPA per rush, number 7 in rushing success rate for Arizona State. That's not good when Iowa State's defense is number 94 in PPA allowed per rush and number 112 in rushing explosiveness, number 71 in rushing success allowed. Yes, there's obviously issues there, but neither one of these teams has been in a spot like this. I feel good with it. I'm going to take Iowa State plus the 2.5. I think that they can win this game outright for sure, and that's pretty much what they're going to have to do. So Iowa State plus 2.5, and that's the best number that you can get out there right now. If you like Arizona State, there are some 2s out there. Next one up, we go to the standalone spot in the afternoon, the SEC Championship between the Texas Longhorns and the Georgia Bulldogs. Texas currently a 2.5-point favorite. Total is number 49, 49.5 on this. All year, my numbers have loved Texas. Loved them in the first matchup here. Is Georgia what we saw in that first meeting when they beat Texas 30-15 in Austin? Or is Georgia what we've seen against everybody else? Because in their last 10 games, they are 2-8 against the spread. They overall on the season, 3-9 against the number. They have not lived up to expectations, but they do have 10 wins. And they seem to show up in the biggest games when they really, really need it. Now, against Georgia Tech last week, that team probably not going to beat Texas. However, the team that showed up in Austin, yeah, they could absolutely beat Texas again. Texas did find a running game, so that's certainly helpful. Obviously, full season numbers here don't look good, but the Wisner kid, he's run for like $150 in the past 2 games. Looks pretty good thus far. They seem to have figured some things out, but they are number 61 in offensive line yards allowed, offensive line yards. They are number 80 in stuff rate allowed. Georgia on the other side on defense, number 49 in offensive line yards allowed, number 79 in stuff rate. Georgia isn't great against the run, but boy, they shut them down last time. Now, obviously, there were sacks involved. You look at havoc rate. Here's what's crazy. Georgia had like 6 sacks in that game, like a couple of turnovers, all that kind of stuff, right? They're number 84 in havoc rate on the season. So again, what version of this team ends up showing up? I think, like, Kirby Smart is a master motivator. I think they're going to show up again. I know my numbers say Texas. My spread based on the last 4 weeks of stats have Georgia winning by like 2 touchdowns. I told you, it's high variance on that number because it's a limited data sample, limited data set. But look, I saw this. I saw this game already. And Texas even got some breaks in that one and still couldn't keep it within 2 scores. I am going to go with Georgia. I'm going against the numbers. Give me Georgia plus 2.5. Yeah, that's across the board. So total of 49.5. I kind of expected to go under. It did last time, at least according to this number. But yeah, I'll take Georgia. I think they're going to win the game outright. So Georgia plus 2.5 on that. Right quick. Tickets are ridiculously expensive. You guys already know this. But we got CFP games coming up. We got conference championship games this weekend. If you're wanting to go to some of these games, you want to go check out any number of things. NBA games. We got NFL games going all the way through February. We got any number of concerts and shows because it's Christmas time. Your wife probably wants to take you to see the Nutcracker or something like that. Get your tickets on Ticketsmarter.com. It's the best third-party ticketing vendor out there. I use them. I've got friends that use them. Go and do yourself a favor and save some money every time out by using Ticketsmarter. Use the promo codes WCE10. It's going to get you $10 off an order of $100 or more. WCE20 is going to get you $20 off an order of $300 or more. And you can do it every time. That's not a one-time sign-up bonus. It's just very basic. Like, this is easy to do, right? So use the promo codes. Go and check out the app. But do yourself a favor and think smarter with Ticket Smarter. Along with that, you want to support the show, we got a web store. Go to winningcureseverything.com and click on the store button there, or winningcureseverything.com/store. And we got all kind of stuff over there, shirts and hats and blah, blah, all this with the new logo, with the old logos. We got cool stuff over there. So check that out as well. If you've not already, subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. Do me that favor. That would certainly help me out. All right, we move on to game number 7. The Sun Belt Championship game. The Louisiana Raging Cajuns, they are going to host the Marshall Thundering Herd. Louisiana is 10-2, Marshall 9-3. The number on this right now, Louisiana favored by 5.5, total of 56.5. A few weeks ago, Ben Wooldridge, the quarterback for Louisiana, broken collarbone. He is out for the rest of the year, so they had to switch over to Chandler Fields, who also has starting experience at Louisiana. Both of these guys have been there for a little while. They both know the system, and it seems, honestly, like Chandler Fields is a little bit better for this offense than Wooldridge was. And don't get me wrong, the offense has obviously been clicking. Number 8 PPA per pass, number 11 in QBR, number 9 in yards per attempt. This Marshall defense, though, they ain't too bad at this. They're not too bad at this. They are number 26 in PPA allowed per pass. They're number 46 in QBR allowed, number 40 in passing success rate, number 40 in passing explosiveness allowed. Like, this Marshall defense is legit. Now, they're not very good at stopping the run, so that is not great. My number on this, by the way, is Louisiana by 5.62. Based on the last 4 weeks, though, I've got Marshall favored by 5. So a little bit of momentum for the Thundering Herd here. And yeah, I know there's been stuff going on about Charles Huff, the head coach for Marshall, potentially taking another job, but we're going to get through this, okay? We're going to get through this ballgame. So Marshall on offense is not great throwing the football. Number 81 PPA per pass, number 88 in passing success rate. Now, Louisiana, number 40 in PPA allowed per pass, number 19 in yards allowed per attempt, number 28 in QBR allowed. But they are number 104 in passing success rate allowed. They are number 106 in havoc rate. Marshall could have some success, and Marshall can really have success running the football. Number 34 PPA per rush, number 23 in yards per rush. Louisiana is number 122 and number 92 in those metrics on defense. This looks to me like a pretty evenly matched game. Marshall has a lot of momentum. I trust what they're doing. I'm going to take Marshall to cover this. I think they can win the game outright. This number isn't really moving much. Best number you can get right now is Marshall plus 6, and that's at ESPN Bet. I will take that. Marshall plus 6 in this spot for me because I think this should be a tighter spread than this, and I don't understand what the love is for Louisiana. That might just be me. The ACC Championship. SMU and Clemson facing off in Charlotte, Bank of America Stadium. And SMU right now, 2.5-point favorite, total of 55.5 on this. Clemson has shown us who they are. SMU hasn't really proven it. I know there's some SMU fans that are mad. I get it. And yet you're really mad about nothing right now because you don't know what the situation is going to be. If SMU wins this game, they are in the playoff. If Clemson wins this game, they are in the playoff. I mean, it feels pretty cut and dry. This is a playoff game. So win this game and you're good. If you don't win this game, you're leaving it in somebody else's hands. So that's beside the point. We're not worried about that right now. Let's actually break down this game. I've got SMU favored by 7 here. My spread based on the last 4 weeks has got Clemson favored by 2, but part of that might be because I exclude garbage time stats. And if I'm excluding garbage time stats, SMU has had a lot of garbage time because they have just been destroying teams. They're 8-4 against the spread, 11-1 straight up. Clemson is 5-6, well 5-6-1 against the spread. Clemson has not looked good against any of the best teams that they have faced all year. This SMU defense, let's start off with that. This defense is number 4 in the country in PPA allowed per drive, predicted points added allowed per drive. They're number 9 in overall defensive success rate allowed. Number 12 in net points. This is a really good defense. Really, really good. They're good against the pass. Number 31 in QBR allowed. Number 17 in PPA allowed per pass. Number 9 in passing success rate allowed. They're number 1 in PPA allowed per run. Clemson, their offense has been really good. But when they go up against good defenses, they have had some major, major problems. I think that SMU is going to be able to get after them. Havoc rate, SMU is number 13. I think they are going to get after Cade Klubnik. Now, on the other side, SMU offense, not really capable of running the ball, great. But this Clemson defense is not great at stopping the run. They are pretty good against the pass. But we saw last week, Lenore Sellers from South Carolina ran all over this Clemson defense. Kevin Jennings has that in him. He ran for well over 100 yards against Louisville back in week 6 or week 7. Now, they don't ask him to run much because obviously you're wanting to keep him healthy. But in a spot like this where it's win and get in, yeah, you probably need to run him a little bit. So I think we're going to see some of that with the mobile quarterback. I think SMU is about a touchdown better than Clemson. So we will take SMU to cover the 2.5 here. I don't think there's a better number. Okay, DK just moved it. All right, SMU -2 is the number that we are officially going to take right now. There you go. There you go. Last game of the day. The Big Ten championship game, and we've got Oregon facing off against Penn State. Oregon right now a 3.5-point favorite in this one with a total of 50.5 on this. My number has Oregon favored by 4.5. My spread based on the last 4 weeks has got Penn State favored by 12. James Franklin, I know everybody talks about it. James Franklin is what, 1-16 or 2-13? It's some crazy, outrageous number against AP top 5 teams. Not very good. Not very good. However, that's almost always against Michigan and Penn State and whatever. This Oregon team, I don't think is super dominant. Right? Maybe I'm crazy. You guys tell me if I'm crazy. I don't think they're certainly not the most dominant number 1 team that we've had in the playoff era, right? You're looking at Oregon number 10 in PPA margin. Penn State is actually better at number 8. The Oregon offense is a little bit better, number 8 in PPA allowed or PPA per drive. Penn State's number 10, but on the other side, Penn State number 9 in PPA per drive. Oregon's defense is number 17. So, these are two. How about this? These two teams are incredibly even. And you wouldn't think it because everybody just thinks the Penn State they lost to Ohio State again. It is what it is. Oregon was just a few seconds away from losing to Ohio State. This isn't crazy. Penn State has looked better against Wisconsin. Both of these teams have blown out 4 or 5 of the same teams. Oregon beat Ohio State by 1. Penn State lost to them by 7. Penn State beat Wisconsin at Camp Randall by 15 points. Just ran all over them. Oregon had to gut through it. 16-13 game. Now, I don't think that necessarily means anything because I think the schedule spots were different. Schedule spots mean a lot in college football. You're looking at number 1 and number 4 in 5 factors plus talent rank. These are 2 really good football teams. And if I'm getting over a field goal in something that I think is a toss-up, yeah, that's probably what I'm going to roll with. So give me Penn State plus 3.5 on that one. That is the last of that. So let's recap it, shall we? Western Kentucky plus 5.5. Tulane minus 4.5. Boise minus 3.5. I'll take Miami of Ohio minus 1.5. Iowa State plus 2.5. Georgia plus 2.5. Marshall plus 6. SMU minus 2. Penn State plus 3.5. Don't forget about our sponsors, GoSleeves.com/WCE, and of course, Ticketsmarter.com. Use the promo codes WCE10, WCE20. Going to save you either $10 or $20 on your ticketing order each and every time out. Check out bettingcfb.com. That would help me out tremendously. You're supporting a small business, so I would thank you for that as well. And, subscribe to the video if you like the content. That would certainly help me out. That part's free. That's easy to do. So hit that like button for me. Looks like that thing right there. Follow me at GaryWCE on the socials if you would. That's going to wrap things up. I hope you all have a wonderful championship weekend. We're going to be back next week with Army, Navy, bowl games, blah, 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 blah. So go ahead and make sure that you are subscribed and that you tune back in. With that said, take care of yourself, take care of each other. God bless college football, and hopefully all of your tickets cash this weekend. Thanks for listening to Winning Cures Everything. Make sure and follow me on Twitter at GaryWCE. If you want to toss in a question, you can email me, Gary@winningcureseverything.com. Make sure and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.